What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today I'm super excited because we are filming one of my favorite types of videos to film, which is testing new drugstore makeup. I have so much new drugstore and affordable products that I'm so excited to test out for you guys today. So we are just gonna do a full face first impressions and see how everything works. You guys know I love drugstore makeup and I know you guys do too, so I'm super excited. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Click the little bell right next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of all my future uploads. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, you guys, up first we're gonna jump in with a primer, and we have a new primer from Wet n Wild. They came out with like a huge new collection. I feel like they always do it around Halloween, like tons of like Halloween-y type makeup. But this primer caught my eye. This is the Pumpkin Seed Extract Vitamin C Primer Serum. So I've tried primer serums from Wet n Wild before, and I am a basic lady and love pumpkin. Pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin flavored anything, pumpkin primers. So I'm excited about this. This is a limited edition collection from Wet n Wild. So I'm just gonna take the packaging off and we're gonna try out this pumpkin little primer. So I'm gonna squeeze some of this into my hand and then tap on the face. It doesn't smell like pumpkin. Maybe a little bit. It smells like something, but I feel like it almost smells like fruity. I don't know, not like a pumpkin. It does feel nice on the skin. It's not really sticky at all, which is nice. Like it feels more so like a skincare product, and did give a glow to my skin. So it has like a very tiny bit of shimmer in it, but it doesn't show up as like chunky glitter on the skin, just kind of gives you this like subtle glow. So I do really like that. Just wish it smelled more like pumpkin. Okay, now for foundation, I don't have anything brand new, so I'm gonna jump in with the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation. I tried these a couple months back, but recently I feel like I have seen everybody talk about these. Oh, there's like a hair floating in the air there. But I think Tati like came out and said this was like the best drugstore foundation or something. So I'm gonna use it again. I remember liking it when I first tried it, but haven't really picked it up that much since. So we're gonna use it today. I have two shades here. I have 15 and 20. And I'm gonna use this new little sponge. This is from Real Techniques. We have a bunch of new brushes from Real Techniques. They did a collab with Victoria Lynn. She is so cute, makes like the cutest TikTok. So I'm really, really excited to try out these brushes today, but this is one of the sponges in the collection. I'm gonna go in with Warm Vanilla on my skin and go in and blend that out. I love how this sponge is like more flat, because normally sponges are always round, but I feel like you want something flat when you're blending out foundation. So love that, and it's super soft. This foundation is nice because it's long wearing, but it's hydrating, which a lot of long wearing foundations are more geared towards mattifying the skin. So I like that this one's geared towards hydrating because I do have dry skin. The shade's a little light in comparison to my neck, but we'll be able to make everything work and blend together. I'm just adding on a little bit of a darker shade just so we can make this match a little bit better. This is Neutral Hazel, shade 40. And what's nice is that this foundation does layer well. So I would say at first it's more of like a medium coverage, but you can definitely build it up to be full. So now with 2 layers, definitely like full coverage. And somehow already got foundation on my sweater. Why does this always happen to me? This is why normally when I get ready, when I'm like not filming, I just wear like a robe or like my pajamas because I am a messy get readier apparently. All right, so that is that on foundation. We are gonna jump into a new concealer that I'm very like interested. I'm eager to try. So this is new from Flower Beauty, which is Drew Barrymore's makeup brand, and this is called the Red Carpet Secret Eye Bright Palette. So basically what this is, you get this like little roller thing that you're supposed to roll underneath your eyes to like depuff. It does feel nice. It's like cooling. There's a primer, which is like kind of like a rosy tone, 2 different concealers that you can kind of mix together to custom create your perfect concealer shade, and then a setting powder. This comes in a couple different shades. I have shade Fair. So we're gonna go in with the primer first, and I'm gonna apply it with this little thing. I'm pretty sure that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, yes, it says use the cooling treatment wand to apply a thin layer of primer balm to under eyes and massage to help blur fine lines and wrinkles. This is like super interesting. So I'm gonna apply that on. It does help this like glide nicely on the under eyes. It feels nice. Going in on the other side now to do the same thing. Now I'm pretty sure this tool is just to apply the primer, so it does feel really nice, and it did kind of like smooth out those under eyes, so I feel like we're ready for concealer. I'm not gonna use this to apply the concealer. I don't think you are supposed to. I'm just gonna use my finger for this actually, kind of mix in between the 2 concealer shades, and then I'm just gonna tap on my under eye with this. Definitely very creamy, which feels good, but scares me that it's going to be like a creasy mess, but we will see. But did a pretty good job of concealing the under eye area. Like I feel like obviously this side has concealer, this side doesn't. This side definitely looks more brightened. It's not a super full coverage concealer, but it does feel really creamy and hydrating. So it does feel nice. Now that I have that pressed on, I'm just gonna go back in with our beauty sponge and just press it in with that, just to make sure everything's blended. All right, so overall, I liked the way the concealer looked, but I can already see that it's creasing on my under eyes. eyes. I think that it's just so creamy, so it feels good, but it's gonna turn creasy really, really quickly. So you wanna make sure you go in with like a good quality powder. There is a powder in this palette here, but I'm gonna show you guys a new powder that I've been loving that you can use for your under eyes and all over your face. That's super affordable. It's literally $6.50 and it's so good. It's from SheGlam and this is the Insta Ready Face and Under Eye Setting Powder Duo. This is like literally such a good concept because if you guys watch my videos normally, you know that I typically always set my under eye concealer with a different powder than I use to set all over my face. Because I typically like something that's more brightening and more hydrating to set my under eyes versus all over my face. This is exactly that. I want to thank SheGlam so much for partnering with me on this section of today's video. I'm really excited to be able to share this with you guys because it's an incredible product. So when you flip up the top, you have your under eye setting powder, which is brightening and moisturizing. So it's going to set your under eyes but not dry them out and make them super, super cakey. And then on the bottom, you have your all over powder. And this does come in 6 different shades, but the shade that I use is Natural Linen. So this isn't a first impressions and it really is good. So I'm going to go in with the under eye setting powder first and I'm gonna tap that on. This is very smoothing and it'll hopefully help to make that concealer not be really creasy, but I normally just use it with like my typical concealers like Tarte Shape Tape, the e.l.f. Camo, and it does a really nice job with them. Now that we have that set, I'm gonna go all over my face with the loose powder and just set everything in place with this. And all these products are vegan and cruelty free as well. And it does a nice job of like setting your face but not drying you out. It kind of just creates this like airbrush filter on the skin. So I definitely really, really love this and love that it's like the 2 powders in one instead of having to have 2 different ones. So as I said, it's $6.50. It's already an affordable product, but SheGlam hooked us up with a code. It's Kelly15, which will get you 15% off of the entire Shein website. So you guys can get clothes, SheGlam makeup, whatever you want with that code. So I'll put a link down below in the description box for you guys to shop if you're interested. Okay, I just went and filled in my brows. So I don't have any new brow products to try today. So we can get started on our eyes. And I kind of hate how they turned out. They're too dark, but we're just gonna roll with it today. Some days are good brow days and some days are not. And I am just not gonna stress about it. All right, so moving along, I'm really, really excited. I want to try out this new palette from Wet n Wild. So again, this is part of the limited edition like Fantasy Makers Halloween collection. So you get 10 different shades and this is the Pick Your Poison palette. So we're gonna go in and try this out. All right, so this palette is super affordable. It's $4.98 for 10 different shades, which is great. There isn't a lot of matte transition colors in here. Most of the mattes are either too light or too dark on my skin tone personally to be a neutral transition, but we're just gonna roll with it. So I'm actually gonna go in with this red because I think I wanna do kind of like a orangey sort of eye. So I'm gonna go in with this on a fluffy blending brush in the crease and just kind of work this in there. Kind of comes off more pinky on the eye than red, but still super pretty and seems to be blending pretty well. Sometimes I get a little nervous because Wet n Wild, I find their palettes to be hit or miss sometimes. And sometimes these 10 shade ones are not my favorite. They can be difficult to work with, so we'll definitely keep a look on it. But this shade seems to be blending all right. All right, now that I have that shade down, I'm gonna go in with this. This is more like muted, very warm toned brown. And I'm gonna use that same brush and work this into the crease. This almost comes off like maroon. This shade is also definitely very pigmented, so can't complain. Also, this blending brush is super soft, so I definitely like that. All right, I'm gonna jump in with a smaller blending brush and the brown shade. And I'm gonna work this into the outer corner and outer crease area. And this is like a true dark brown. This look is turning very Halloween-y, which I mean, that's what this collection is about, so I just didn't expect it. But these shades really are very pigmented. You do have to blend them, I would say maybe a little more than usual, but again, for $5 for 10 different shades, I feel like I'm okay with blending, you know, a little bit more than I would with a much more expensive palette. I remember back in the day, Wet n Wild did those little palettes of just like 4 shades, and my mom would like get those for me if I had like a dance recital or something and we needed to do like eye makeup. She would always buy them and use them to like do my makeup. And those were like patchy as can be. So they've definitely gotten better over the years. Now I'm going in with a tiny detailed brush in the lightest shade in the palette, and I'm gonna put this right beneath the brow bone just to brighten up that area. I will say I am getting a decent amount of fallout from these shades. Like underneath this eye, I have a big patch here. So I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more of that setting powder to try and just brighten it up. So maybe if you're gonna use this palette, go in with and do your eyes first, because you will get some fallout. All right, now for all over the lid, I'm gonna go in with this shimmer shade right here. I'm gonna use my finger and we'll see how it applies. It looks pretty. And I'm gonna just pack that on the lid. Oh yeah, it is actually really pretty. Honestly, I did not expect this palette to perform as well as it is. Because I feel like I've tried Wet n Wild's like Halloween palettes in the past and I didn't like them as much as some of their normal palettes, but this seems to be working really well. All right, I'm gonna go in with a small liner brush in the dark brown, and I'm going to apply that to my lower lash line. Dang, yeah, when I'm looking up close, definitely a lot of fallout. So while it's great that the shadows are really pigmented, you're definitely gonna get some product underneath your eyes. So this look would have been done much better if I would have not put my foundation on first so that I could like remove with an actual makeup wipe, because I'm trying to like dust it off and it's just like still kind of sitting there. So just something to note if you try this yourself. But overall, I mean, I feel like the palette actually worked really well. I'm gonna jump in with this little orangey shade here on a little bit of a fluffier brush and use that to buff out the lower lash line. Then I'm just going back in with a little bit of that light highlight, applying to the inner corner. And I think we are good on the eyes. This was honestly very, very, very pigmented, a lot more pigmented than I expected. And I think it's well worth the $4 and change. There's a couple different options too. Like it's not just this color story. There's a couple different palettes that they do have. I know they are all limited edition though. So definitely fun and easy to use. And even if you're just using it for like a Halloween look, I think it's well worth the price. All right, we're gonna jump into liner now. And I'm gonna use this new one. This is the Catwoman liquid liner from Makeup Revolution. They came out with also kind of like a Halloween makeup line. They had like Batman, Joker, Catwoman, a bunch of different things, but there's a liquid liner that we're gonna try out today. So I'm gonna just go in and line my upper lash line with this. It's not a like bendable tip, so it is pretty stiff. So it might not be the easiest to create a wing, but we're gonna see. Oh no, not half bad actually. That was pretty easy. I normally like when liquid liners have a little bit more like flexibility to them, but that actually worked pretty well and does not seem to be fraying in my inner corner just yet. So that is a good sign. All right, this liner actually worked really well. I like that. Now there is also a new mascara as part of this line. So also Makeup Revolution. This is the I Am the Night mascara and it's supposed to give instant volume to the lashes. So, oh, that is a big one. So let's see. I'm gonna kind of just wiggle this on my lashes. Honestly, this wand is like really big and really wide. It's kind of hard to work with. Like I feel like this could get really messy easily because I'm just trying to be so careful to not get it all over like my eyeshadow. It is adding volume though, I will say that, but I don't think it's like revolutionary. Not bad, but not my favorite. All right, I'm gonna attempt to use this on my lower lashes, but I feel like this could be bad just because this is large, but I'm going to try. All right, I mean, as long as you're careful, I'm literally like in the mirror like this, like it will work. You just definitely have to be careful. I wish they would have just made the wand a little bit smaller because it's not the easiest to work with, but the formula is definitely not bad. All right, I'm gonna pop on some falsies. I've been wanting to try these. These are newer from Kiss and these are their maxed out lashes. So these ones look so, so pretty. These are in the style Chic. So I'm gonna go in with these and try them out because I love finding like new affordable lashes that are really nice. Okay, wait, I literally just tentatively went and like put these on my eyes to see if I needed to trim them. Like there's no glue or anything, but these are so long. I used to wear lashes like these, but I feel like I can't anymore. Like these are just way, like I feel like these are just like way too long. So maybe not these. I have another style that are Glam. These look a little thicker, but they might be a little shorter. Let's see. Okay, again, just putting them on before I like trim them. These are not as long, so I'm gonna use these ones because I think these look more flattering. And I'm gonna go in and pop these on. Okay, definitely like these ones better. They were easy to apply and they're really lightweight. They're not super heavy on the eyes. I'm just gonna go in and pop on the other side as well. You'll definitely need to trim these, especially if your eyes are on the smaller side. They do come really long, but if you have big eyes, then it's good because they won't be too short for you. So I just went in and trimmed mine a bit. All right, eyes are done. I'm honestly not used to seeing myself with these like super dramatic lashes anymore. So let me know your thoughts down below, but we are gonna jump in to finish off the face. Now, Physicians Formula came out with some new butter bronzers and these smell so good. This one is Butter Cookie. Oh, like 1 million out of 10 on scent. Like they really do smell. Sometimes when brands do like these sort of scents, they can come out weird. These are really good. Butter Donut, good. Butter Cake, which this one's kind of like a shimmer one. Delicious. And also Butter Coffee. So cute. Oh my God, this one smells really good, like just like coffee, but I think I'm gonna use the Butter Cake bronzer to all over bronze just because this is a little bit more of like a shimmery all over bronzer. And I'm gonna go in and dust this on my cheeks. This is actually really pretty and is going to make you smell delicious. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of the regular butter bronzer, but literally just the smell on this alone is enough to buy it. I'm not even over exaggerating. Like it smells so good. but it actually looks really pretty on the cheeks. I like this. Just sad that we have this like weird shadow on our under eye from the eyeshadow, but you live and you learn. Better I be the guinea pig to tell you guys, do the eyeshadow first, complexion after. Then I'm gonna jump in with the buttered donut. This one looks more matte, so I'm gonna use this to contour. And I'm just gonna contour out my cheeks with this. This actually looks pretty good too. Like shade-wise, this works really well for me, so I like that. Okay, so my camera just stopped recording without telling me. Love that, but I just went in with blush, and I actually really liked it. This is also new from Wet n Wild as part of the Fantasy Makers Halloween collection, and this is their blush in Let's Get Smashed. So it's like a matte kind of orangey shade, so I just put it on my cheeks, thought my camera was recording, and it was dead. So I'm sorry about that. If you guys can see it on my cheeks, I'll go in with just a smidge more and amp it up a little bit. It is completely matte, so there's no shimmer to it. I normally like my blushes to have a little bit of a sheen, but this is definitely pretty nonetheless, and smells like pumpkin spice. It smells so good. I wish the primer was like this scent. Okay, now Wet n Wild also has highlighters as part of this collection, so of course we're gonna try them. So we have a lighter one, which this is the shade Haunted Hills, and then a darker one, which is Hollywood. So we're just gonna use both. I'll put one on either side of my face. Okay, so first I'm gonna go in with Haunted Hills. Ooh. This is icy, but this is pretty. I do not normally like super icy highlights, but this one like blends nicely. Like normally they're just like this really thick stripe on the face because they're so like light and icy, but this one is really pretty. It has like a pinky undertone to it. I actually really like that. And if you have fair toned skin, this is just gonna look so pretty. That's beautiful. Wet n Wild always kills it on their highlights. Like they do such a good job at formulating highlights that are affordable, that are so good. So let's go with the gold one now, because that's typically the type of shade that I go for. So again, this is Hollywood, and I'm going to apply this. Ooh! So pretty as well. Kind of like a classic golden. They are both beautiful. I feel like I might even like this one better, which is crazy because this one is like normally the type of shade that I go for. And it's very pretty, but this one is just stunning. Comment down below which one you guys like better, but I don't think you can go wrong with either. I'm gonna mix the sides now just so we don't look like we have two completely different highlights on, even though we do. So they look a little bit more similar. Bring it down the nose as well. Yeah, this Haunted Hills is just so pretty. All right, I'm just gonna go in and line my lips real quick before we jump in the new lip product. And this is the Colourpop Fresh Kiss Lip Cream. So there's a bunch of different shades in these. They have like darker colors and then a bunch of nudes as well. I'm gonna use a nude today because we have so much going on in the eyes. I feel like we don't need a bold lip too, but this nude shade looks so pretty. This is in the shade BB Spice, and this is their Fresh Kiss Lip Cream formula. So I'm gonna go in on the lips with this. Ooh, yes, this is the exact type of like nude lip that I like pinky kind of undertones. And it literally, like, even though it's matte, it feels like a lip gloss on the lips. Like, it feels so creamy, and this shade is beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry down and see how it feels, because right now, like, literally feels like a lip gloss, even though it looks matte. So I wanna see if it dries down to be completely matte or if it stays like this. Because if it stays like this, these might be like my new favorite, because this feels so nice on the lips. Does not feel like a matte lipstick at all. While we let that dry down, I'm gonna jump in with a new setting spray that I wanna try. This is from Flower Beauty, and this is the Jet Set Invisible Powder Spray. So this is basically supposed to be like an invisible powder that'll help to make your makeup last all day and set everything down and kind of mattify the skin. So I'm gonna just do a little test spritz. Ooh, do you guys see that? I don't know if you can see, but it looks like it's pretty intense. So I'm gonna hold this far back. Oh, okay. So somehow it is intense, but like it doesn't feel like wet at all on the skin. It literally feels like a powder. This is very interesting. Like it's not wet at all. So it doesn't feel harsh on the skin. It smells really nice. It smells like baby powder. Okay, I mean, that is actually really cool. Didn't expect that at all. It's not wet. It literally is just like spraying powder on your face. That's really, really interesting. And I feel like it didn't leave a weird look to my face at all. It has that light scent to it, which I don't mind. This is actually really cool. And our lips still feel really creamy, so I don't think this is gonna dry down. I feel like that's the whole point. It like looks matte, but it's a creamy pigmented lip. I absolutely love it. This lippy is like definitely gonna become a staple in my routine because I love the shade and love the way that it feels. And like I said, if you don't like nude, there's like a million other different colors that they came out with. So really, really like that. And all of Colourpop stuff is affordable too. I believe they're like $8 each. You guys can use code Kelly for an additional 10% off as well on your entire Colourpop order if you want to. But yeah, that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I feel like we actually came out with a really, really pretty look. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you guys gonna try any of these products or are you gonna skip on them? I would love to hear. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.